Yeah, and I stapled, hey, aha. See if you got voice. See if
Testing.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good.
This is ridiculous.
Yes. Ready?
Did you want a copy of the agenda with the information? So the reason why we spaced this out is today
write
was
notes in
three.
it?
Yeah, we can write notes in. The agenda you saw is probably compressed.
I'm going to do public comments.
Yeah, good. I was going to ask. Yeah, excellent. Thank you. And then everyone else is all righty. All righty. I'd like to welcome everyone viewing, listening that may be here today to our City of Eureka Springs Cemetery Commission. This Monday, September the 9th at 4 p.m. We'll have a call to order at this point in time.
Roll call. L.B. Wilson.
Yeah, the roll call. I'm sorry, and roll call.
Matt Pancrase.
And David Danvers. We have a quorum. Attached in your packet, you'll see the meeting minutes from our August the 12th meeting. I had previously sent these out to us, and if they meet your approval, I would entertain a motion to approve them. Or any questions?
No questions?
Well, I'd like to make a motion we accept the minutes as presented.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Approved? Aye. Right. And you see today's agenda, sent out a few days ago. We can open this up now to add any items on here that we might have missed.
I don't have anything to add.
Do you have anything to add?
No.
Yeah, okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda, please.
So moved. We
And a
approve the
second.
agenda.
Second.
And all in favor? Aye. Okay, that approved 3-0. And now we're ready for public comments. We've got a limit of 3 minutes each, but want you to step up here and take your time. Glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
Did I get in line here?
Yes. Give us your name, rank, serial number.
Steve Holofield, 12 Hillside, Eureka Springs.
What was that?
It's Steve.
Steve Holofield. I'm here tonight not as a city council person or the current chair of the CAPC. I'm here as a neighbor talking about the petition to do away with the CAPC and the CAPC tax. This is something that's going to affect everybody in Eureka Springs. And definitely affects, I'm going to each one of the commissions and pointing out, how would this affect the cemetery commission? Do you receive any city money at all?
Yeah.
Then it would affect the cemetery commission. If this tax goes into effect and tourism stops, basically, the auditorium will close, the city's budget will go down drastically, they'll be laying off fire, EMS, police officers, they'll be cutting the budget wherever they can. This would be disastrous to everybody in the city of Eureka Springs. Unfortunately, only citizens of Eureka Springs can vote, and I know not everybody on this commission is a citizen of Eureka Springs, but you know people who are. And I'm asking people, please go talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors, anybody you know about this petition. I'll give you a handout kind of doing the layout of what this would mean to Eureka Springs. This is a disastrous referendum that's put on the ballot that will most likely be on the ballot November 5th. And if it passes, our town's in trouble. It's in big, big trouble. So I also wanted to point out the taxes are collected by hotels and restaurants only. So the citizens in town are not paying this tax, except if you go out and have dinner. If you go out and have dinner, there's a part of the sales tax that restaurants collect. And someone did the numbers. It's about, per citizen, $60 a year. But if this passes, the city, I wouldn't doubt, wouldn't have any choice but to raise property taxes, and you'll see a much more of an increase than $60 a year in what you'll be paying out. Also, a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses in town will have to close. Can you imagine 20%, even an optimistic number, 20% reduction in tourism would put most of these businesses out of business. Most people do not operate on a huge margin of profit. So I just wanted to point this out, and I'll be here if y'all have any questions or anything, but I'm going to each one of the commissions and pointing this out to each commission. And that's a huge number. We have a lot of volunteers sitting on our commissions, and please go talk to people you know. And even if you think they know it, make sure they know what's going on, educate them. It's been a process of educating people. And our fear is that people can get to the ballot and go, oh, I don't know what the CAPC is. You know, fewer taxes, sure, and they'll vote for it. And it'll be disastrous for this town if that happens. Okay? Thank you all for volunteering. I appreciate you all being here. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime.
Did you say you have something put together there?
Yeah.
Good.
Steve, are you on the city council?
Yes.
Has the city council, is this a part of preparation of getting information out to this community about this?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it more tonight. Probably do a referendum on it as well.
Thank you, Steve.
Matt,
Matt Pancras, new member.
I'll talk with you after.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll watch the meetings.
Okay.
I'll watch all your meetings. Thank you so much for being on the camera.
You're welcome.
Well-
Thank you. So for those that would like to inquire the city cemetery commission about what Steve just spoke about, please feel free to get in touch with us and we'll get back with you. We'll move into reports. Head groundskeeper report.
Let me, if you don't mind, let me try to just summarize groundskeeper and sexton and the superintendent's report, kind of.
Yeah, we'll summarize the head groundskeeper, sexton, office manager, and superintendent report together. Thank you, LB.
Okay. Well, I presented to you the superintendent log, which is kind of like a day-by-day accounting of things that occur. Some of the future projects that we're looking at is limb removal with a bucket truck, topsoil and gravel purchases, possibly surfacing the dump road with gravel, purchasing an additional trash container. Some of the improvements that's occurred that the groundskeepers have been involved in recently is, I don't have an exact number, but I think it's in excess of 30 headstones have been recently cleaned. There has been also 3 or 4 sites where the curbing was repaired. There's an 1820s horse hitching line restoration project going on now.
Would you please give us some detail about this? Because I think the public would really like to hear about
There was some
this.
stones
lenient.
located in the cemetery that date back to the 1820s that were at one time utilized for horses being hitched to them. So they were discovered. Nathan, the head groundskeeper, discovered them. Some had to be dug up and placed in the original location. And he's making some horse heads, and we'll be having an area that's connected with a chain. Also out there, we have a...
LB, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
So he showed them to me the other day, and I just want the public to understand some of the work that's going on out there because it's phenomenal. He had this from the 1820s, a small horse head, like from a hitching post, and he used it as a mold and then did epoxy copies of that. Is that correct? And then there was some chain work and other things? It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yes, and we also have a platform out there, a stone that's, looks like it's, well, it's out of place for sure, but it's a stone that was used for people to step onto out of wagons. So that'll be the next thing that we look at, maybe putting a hitching post nearby that's in a row maybe with the headstones. That would be the general location of where that is. So we're doing some things to try to look back to the past and bring some more character to the cemetery. Let's see. The cemetery gate hours are now 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. They were changed recently.
And that's due to just
Well,
the
we're
dusk to
open
dawn.
dawn to dusk.
Yeah,
And so
right.
the time is changed. And September is usually when we change it.
Yeah.
I think the sunrise was at 6:57 or something this morning, and sunset was at 7 something. So
Yeah.
well, there's still a margin there for error.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, we have to manually set the clocks then on our new gate that was installed last year electronically. And so, yeah, it's dawn to dusk. Thanks, LB, 7 to 8. And I'm sorry I'm going into detail, but I think there's this information that the public would want to see, since we now are on YouTube and people can see us.
Well, we've had a little bit of problem with the breaker still not, staying connected, and we've had the gate light out and stuff like that for a while, and that's all been taken care of again. Trying to find the sexton's notes here real quick.
So the superintendent's log is very, very detailed by day, and these are the activities that LB, our superintendent, does on a volunteer love basis, and they're very detailed. If you all are interested in seeing any of our records and books, please feel free to come out to the cemetery office. Call ahead and make sure that we're open. We have limited hours, but usually someone's out there. But 10 to 2, typically someone is there, just FYI.
You also have the cemetery monthly report with regards to employee work record and expenditures. This past month, we only spent $371.04, which gave us a plus $1088.48 to carry over. And our next month's monthly budget is $1731.65 because of that. We have sold a couple of plots. We had a request, and this I think is later on in the, I'll just wait till later on. We've had some requests regarding cremations, but we've sold a couple of plots here in the past month, and the Martins have decided to not use curbing. Instead, they're going to go back to the cornerstones. So that's all been taken care of on that. Right now, I assigned Hannah to do a business motion approval on business. In other words, the motions that we approve give us a chronological order from January on, so that we can just have a quick summary of everything that we have passed. And that way, if something comes up, then we haven't followed it all the way through, we'll be able to check ourselves and so forth.
Excellent.
Both of them everyone's doing a really good job. The cemetery looks great. There's a lot of things that take place out there that kind of go unnoticed, but we're trying to keep up on everything. Okay.
Very good. Thank you, LB. The treasurer's report, I'll give. Would just like to note that this is a summary of our unreconciled checkbook, including credit cards. And attached, you'll see a printout from the bank, which gives the actual balances, and that actually was as of close of business yesterday. We're working now with the CPA's office, and they're in the process of determining the cost to catch up, with us, and that would mean from January through current month before going ahead on a month-to-month basis. Anyway, so we'll use QuickBooks for monthly reports, including income statement, balance sheet, and other reports, which will be balanced to the penny to the checkbook, hopefully next month. So our opening balance, $20,328 and a nickel. Our expenses were $827.40. LB's Visa was $553.25. My Visa was $183.35. That's in addition to the $827.40. Total debits for the month, $1,564. Credits, the donation box, $156.62. We had a person send in their information on the coin expedition, which was $20. Coin sales, we received a check for $12 from the Historic Museum. And as LB alluded to a few minutes ago, we had plot sales of $3,579. Total credits for the month were $3,767.62. Put us in the black, $2,203.62 for the month. Ending balance of $22,531.67.
I don't have on my sheet that 2540.
Where?
I see donation box.
Lean in where they can hear you.
I see donation box, coin expenditure, coin sales,
Right.
and that's it.
You don't have sales of $3,579?
Yes, I see that, but what about the donation for the 2540? So see, that's not all sales.
That was deposited. Here, let me look. I think that was deposited.
I don't think that's for, we didn't sell that much this month.
Oh, here, let me look. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you, LB. So that was the Lightfoot Reynolds.
Well, I don't,
$2,540 of that really are up in the donations. So let's take out $2,540. Add that. The numbers are the same, but add $2,540 up to donations, and take $2,540 out of sales. Good catch. Thank you. We got that. We have a person who's donated $2,500, and in her check was an additional $40 from a neighbor friend of hers, and these people are actually out of state, and so she included $2,540 in there as a donation. Her parents are out here, various family members, they've been deceased. It passed many, many, many years ago. So we're really fortunate, really blessed by donations such as this. Okay. And as I said, that didn't affect any of these balances. Okay. We don't have any special event reports.
No.
Nothing to report. We'll move on to the unfinished business. Website update. I'll give that update. Currently, as of, I guess, Friday, we have a new all burials Excel spreadsheet that we can upload into the spreadsheet. And actually, we're going to do that to the Facebook update as well. I don't have any dates set, for training of Hannah and or a commissioner that will be able to go in and do website updating. However, Ida, our city clerk, had let me know in person that anything that comes up, she can flip-flop and do certain things for us and not to worry about anything. Thank you, Ida. She's very well versed and runs the city website. The Facebook update, I wish Brita was here. Brita had some good ideas on making a few changes to the way that Facebook is viewed. We do need to add information that's from the website into the Facebook, and that's something that just has not been done yet, something that's probably on my plate I'll be responsible for, but I wanted to work with Brita on that. I would like to also add the fact that our head groundskeeper really enjoys Facebook, and he's been very, very active in posting pictures for work and things that have been accomplished to the Facebook on a pretty regular basis. So that's something I can really appreciate. Any questions on those two? Okay,
Just backing up just a minute, talking about special events. They do have Voices coming up still next month. Is that correct? October?
yeah,
Well, we've approved that already, but it's not an event that special events is to indicate what we have going on.
Right.
yeah.
And we do have Voices coming in next month, yes.
Yeah, and so, good point, Matt, because on the website, we do have Voices is on the calendar, and it's kind of featured when you go in and take a look at it. And so we're referring people into the historic museum. for
One
that.
thing about that too is they'll probably be calling on some of us to help man the gate, possibly some setup preparation.
I'll talk to Jeff Danos of the museum, and he does work with the organization that puts Voices on. He's kind of our single point of contact with
Gotcha.
that. Thank you. The sign project.
So we were talking about that a little bit before we started. I should have a lot of information coming up really soon on that. I met with both companies this Saturday out at the cemetery with Gypsy Graphics and Ozark CNC. They've done work for the Parks and Recreation Department here in Eureka, so you can see their work all around town. We talked about a lot of different ideas, so I don't have anything definitive right now, but once they get it to me, I'll kind of give it to you guys, different ideas on, different media we can make the sign out of, whether it be wood or whether it be metal, what kind of metal, aluminum or what have you. Talk about some ideas. The information I was trying to get before when I picked up this project kind of fizzled out. The company that was supposed to be getting me information never materialized, so I just went off in a totally different direction, sought out some other companies, so I think we're going to get some good info here. Hopefully, knock on wood, I'm hoping it's within the budget that we can make happen.
Well, mentioning the budget, right now we have, I believe it's $4,500 in donations toward that project. And I hope folks realize that that's going to be a huge project. It could well cost us $10,000 to $12,000 to replace all of those block signs with something that will last a very, very long time. And so we want to be real conscientious and second guess ourselves and put forth the best idea we can about the design and the materials that we're going to be using on it. Because it's a huge expenditure, and it's to me it's like it's a 50-year project at least.
And did I hear, I know this isn't a definitive number, but did I hear that the approximate count is around 60 sign posts that we need?
I believe it's more like 62, and then we were going to get extra ones because we're going to have to expand the cemetery. So we're probably looking at around 70.
Yeah, 70.
And here is another thing that came up as an idea out there. I didn't tell you guys this, but one of the folks I met with, and I hadn't thought of this, and I thought, that's great. Remember how we talked about sinking the posts into the ground in concrete? And they said, why don't you do like a square concrete base that's in the ground, and then the post have like a flat base on it that you just bolt with lag bolts to that concrete that's in the ground. And that way, if a car happens to accidentally hit one or damage one, it would just break those bolts off, or you could, if you had to replace one, you could just take it out and put another sign right in its place.
The foundation permanent.
Well, again, though, see, that's a great thing to consider. It's materials and design. Even though this is something that we wanted to try to get accomplished by the end of the year, it may be that once we get all these possibilities and then consider the best options, it may take us a while, but that sounds great. And that's something to consider, and then it would be above the ground where weed eater wouldn't affect it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and kind of like if you think of a light post, right, or a street light, if you ever look at them, they have the bolts coming up and the nut on the top of them, well, you could simply put a couple of lag bolts right down into the cement. If a car bangs into one or it gets damaged, you can unbolt it and bolt another one right on.
We'd want to think of the security aspect, though, too. Someone could come out there and unscrew those bolts and take a sign with them.
No, well, that's true.
Well, that's
Stranger things have
that's if you do the bolt
agree?
coming up with the nut. You can do the lag bolt that goes down into the concrete and expands out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying that's something to consider.
I could see benefits of this from getting quotes for people just to design that cement, foundation with lag bolts that come out.
Yeah, and it's basically just a square, right? Maybe
Yeah.
a 6x6 square that's 2 feet into the ground.
Yeah, if even 2 feet.
That would,
Good ideas.
That would be an easy form.
I think the main
Sounds
point.
good, Matt.
Yeah, and the main point here, I think, LB, that you're bringing up is that we want to be methodical. We want to look at these costs and expenses, want to ensure our stakeholders out here in the public that that's what we're doing. And last month, we did repeal one of our passing sign directives, which authorize expenditure on an older, different design, just to this very point.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Thank you, Matt. Commemorative coin, there's no update on commemorative coin. Kiosk improvement.
May I make a comment
Sure.
about that? If we have coins out and the little signs that we were going to give retailers the opportunity to use, can we get those returned to the office?
Sure. Yeah, okay. I have them. Yeah, I have them at my house. I'll bring them. Good. And any of us commissioners can go out like I have done sporadically and mention things. Yeah, mention things to, to businesses. I've carried coins in my pocket.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't have the access to those signs, so
right.
We can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Thank you. The kiosk improvement projects moving right along. Little issue with where we're having things printed. I took 6 of the 8, put them in Arial in the kiosk the other day, and this is what we voted on and approved last month. We had the samples sitting out here. The last 2 were to be ready today, and I didn't have time to even go by to see if they were ready. I'll give them a call tomorrow, and we'll get those incorporated, and they'll all be in Times New Roman, not in Arial, laid out in the kiosk, and that will close that out.
Related to that is also another topic on the old business, but we need to add maybe one more item to that information, and I don't know what the best term is or the best description of it would be, but the idea would be a the 2024 donation all-stars. Now, we can come up with some other way of tagging that, but I think we need to list the names of the folks that may have made special contributions either in time or monies. And I have a list here. Maybe we could even make it, the paper a different color or the lettering a different color so it stands out. But I think that's one way we can give recognition to those folks that make an extra effort for the cemetery. So I'm going to give this to you, David, since
Okay.
you're taking care of that, for you to consider, okay?
Okay, very good.
And we probably need to get addresses maybe as well, so we can send them a card. Some of those people have never received anything from us in the way of a thank you. And now that some of them
That,
have,
really?
yes. And now that, several, I don't want to mention their names, but there's some on that list right there. And now that we have those cemetery thank you cards on hand, we can certainly utilize those.
Yeah, we have to, let's talk about that, though. I thought that we had gone back in and sent
Well,
at
okay.
minimum emails.
I don't necessarily want to mention names right now, but
Yeah.
I wrote the top two that I had, continue to help us at the cemetery
Yeah.
with time.
Sure,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Yeah. Maybe we would want to consider, when we take a look at these 8 or now 9 possible 8.5 by 11 sheets, they fill up the center piece. Maybe I really value the iconography, which is the full panel on the right of the 3 panels. But if we put our minds into this, we may want to maybe rethink on how we can honor and put specific things up there, and then change the size or the layout of that iconography.
Well,
It's going to look pretty busy. In
That's
center.
possible, but to put it like on one sheet, you're going to have changes every year, especially with something
Not
like
one
that.
sheet. I didn't mean print it all on
On one
sheet.
poster.
I'm talking about taking, iconography is the whole right panel of the 3.
yeah.
And I don't know if the importance of iconography is such that we would want a full panel still, when now we have 9 items
Well, I think-
in the center section.
But don't you think with what you've got put in there right now, I think you have 6 in there now.
Yeah, and there'll be
That-
2 more with the,
Every one of those can be made smaller. They could be 8 by 10 or
well, they're
7
by
seven,
11s now.
you know,
Just sheets of paper.
7 by 9 or something. We can make them smaller if we don't have room, but there's room for 9 in there, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, there's room for 9, 3 by 3, fit right in there, but honoring a list of people,
That's the 9th one.
I know, but I would think some of these honors would want to be a little bit larger and offset in the sizes. I'm just saying. We've got it covered. We've got room for 9. So I'll do that, LB. And I don't think we need to vote on anything like this. We're just going to do it. Yeah. Okay. The recognition card, letters for the kiosk and contributions, we have that now. At what time is it? 4:34. Oh, good. We're doing fine. So Ratha has the cards. And I guess
Cards are in the office.
they're in the office. We have a sample here or anything? It's
I didn't bring one. I thought you
That's
were going
okay.
to pick them up.
No, that's fine. So we now have.
So
these.
if we consider on this topic then,
Yes.
that listing of names, and we need to also include the spouse on that. I know there's a couple of them I couldn't remember how they spelt their spouse's name.
Okay.
But we need to, get the information correct. And then, so we have a recognition card, and we also
Yep.
have a recognition in a kiosk. So that's a start, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and I added the remembrance idea in here. This really, we've adopted it. I kind of rewrote what was presented in the office to go in the packets to put outside in the kiosk. So remembrance idea, that's been adopted.
Well, there's two versions out there, so I want to make a motion that we
What
take
could-
the revised form that David provided us as the remembrance information, and we
Was
put
it
it in the
everything you needed for the packet?
and put it in the kiosk as well as the packet.
Yeah. Is that a motion? We need a mo, we do need a motion.
Well, you know, we have approved the remembrance
Oh,
program.
it's for the rules and regulations.
Yeah,
addition.
For the guide.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make a note
So we're
here.
going to include that in our packets for new sales,
It's a motion. to-
rules and regulations, yeah.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
And all in favor? Aye. And that's unanimous.
Hang on just a second.
Motion to include the revised form into rules and regulations. Sorry, folks, we're down 2 commissioners, and we're having to be our own secretary and treasurer here tonight. I'm pointing at you, Dave. You can't help us.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to number 8, the new cremation area.
It's that alley that
Still
runs
same
from,
spot?
Yeah.
Still thinking of that same
that
spot?
alley that runs from 18 to 19. I don't know if anyone's been out there to look at it. I think we need to encourage everyone to get out there so they can have an opinion about it and see if there'll be certain areas that we may not want to allow cremations because of the access that's necessary for other grave sites to be dug. And we can do that. We don't have to sell all of the spaces. You know, we can designate certain spaces for sale, but we need to make a decision on that next meeting for sure.
Well, LB, I'd like to say this. You were very specific last month about the areas, was it 18 and 19?
It's the alley that runs
The alley
from
in
block
between.
18
Yeah,
to
it's the alley
19.
that runs between. You asked us to go out there and look, and as far as I know, we've done it.
We have.
And I would entertain a motion tonight to set aside that specific area so we can click this off as done.
All right. Got a set.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to prolong it.
There's no
longer.
reason.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone had any objections. to
No,
it.
there were none. Or I wouldn't do that. Yeah. It would be unanimous if they were here. Everybody's seen it.
Okay, well, we'll measure it out and go from there.
Okay, well, I will entertain a motion right now.
Oh, we just
to-
got it.
To set aside, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You made the motion.
Well,
All right. I'd like to make a motion that we utilize the alley that runs from block 18 to 19 as a new cremation row, designating, with the designation that some plots will not be sold due to access of other grave sites.
and do I have a second?
Second.
And all in favor? Aye. Passed 3-0.
Okay.
Good, thank you. The mid-year budget, there was some discussion that we just kind of pumped this off. We're past that point in time, and there's really nothing to review until we have seen what the CPA offers. And
I think we need to eliminate this item right now.
I think we ought to eliminate it myself. Do we need a motion to eliminate it since we moved it up here?
I make a motion, we eliminate this item.
Yeah, we've been talking about it long enough until the CPA catches up
That's
with
it.
us.
Yeah. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? 3-0.
Okay.
Deleted.
All right.
Gone. And the plant policy, we discussed
Okay.
much in detail.
Now, you have got
And think we're
the
going
new
to add it.
revision for the plant policy,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, right here, request for planting.
No, that's the form for request.
Okay,
The other
This
sheet
right
has
here.
it.
The one that was in front of it.
okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, this is a combined, this version combines some thoughts that were given by Matt and others. You might want to read over that because this is something that we need to move on and put in our rules and our guidelines, or our rules and regulations as they're called now. You want to read that, Matt, out loud?
I like it.
Is it okay,
I think it's
Matt?
wonderful.
Yeah, I think so. I remember last month someone, and I don't remember the particulars of it, had talked about wanting to plant some dogwood trees out there or something.
Right.
And when LB and I were discussing this, one of the things that we talked about was, I think people plant things with good intentions, but as the time goes by
Absolutely.
and they move away, pass away, and years go by, and these plantings get out of hand, and there's nobody left to take care of them, they become problematic. And I was telling LB that I think it really should even apply to plantings that are already out there.
Well,
I mean, there's no reason it should damage cemetery property or other people's grave sites just because it's out of control and no one's taking care of it.
In previous conversations that we've had, this addresses every bit of it.
Well, we needed to address the fact that anything that's going on out there that distorts borders and headstones and so forth needs to be dealt with. Then we also need to establish the fact that people need to make a request for purchases of new burial sites and/or burial sites that have not been used yet, just like they do for a headstone. We have a cemetery in a forest, and talk about 40 or 50 years from now at about $1,000 a tree. Think about that. We don't need to have people planting more trees out there
Yeah. I'll take a motion.
when there's about 600 trees. What's that, 600,000?
Don't look at David.
Eventually they're going to die, unfortunately.
LB, I will accept a motion to add this into our rules and regulations as written, including the form.
I make a motion that we accept the planning policy.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. 3-0, passed.
Who did the second, Matt?
Matt.
Okay.
Okay, again, number 11, the invitation. That was an invitation to attend these meetings, and it is up in the kiosk, and I think this one actually is done.
So we need to just eliminate this.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's been
That's all part of the
processed.
kiosk.
It's been completed.
Yeah, done. Yeah. The control burn.
Okay, talk with the fire department about trying to do something with those piles and feet thick full of pine needles. Really, they're receptive to us maybe burning, but the limit is 3 square feet of burning at a time.
No.
Forget that. We're going to have to come up with something else, either get a dozer in there to push them further down the hill and then maybe bring in some clay or something, because we need an area to discard limbs and stuff. But so the control burn is not an option.
Okay, we'll take that out. I remember we talked to the solid waste people when we were out there that day. They will take certain pickup truckloads of a few things at a time and allow us to dump that in the back. We're going to just pass on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Number 13, Cemetery Projects Committee. I'd like to say that Brita had brought this up. Why don't we just move this on and discuss it next month? Is that fair?
Since she's not here.
Since she's not here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is that all right with you, LB?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the Laughlin burial request.
Okay. Laughlin had made a request.
Speak in.
Laughlin had made a request to bury her mother on her mother's grave. and they were going to have an external above-ground container of some kind. Now, all that's changed. I sent information to them that they needed to check with monument companies and so forth about the adhesive that they would have to use or how to attach something like that to an established headstone. So what they've decided to do is to change their request from that to a normal placement of cremains in the ground.
Okay.
So the option is this. They will pay $100 if we process that cremation, if we service the cremation. Usually we charge $75, but we're charging $75 plus $25 for the registration.
Exactly.
If they want to dig the cremation hole, then it'll be just $25. And so I gave them permission to do that
Good.
and sent them the forms that they need to return to us to determine what they want to do.
Good. So that's resolved.
So you haven't
Okay.
gotten that back from them yet, though?
No, but it'll be, there's no big hurry on it as far as that goes. So that's resolved.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, CPA QuickBooks hire, I actually mentioned that in the treasurer's report. There were issues this morning dealing with them on getting back into the credit card accounts. Hannah and I were on the phone several times to get the office in there. So really, as I mentioned earlier, we're just waiting on their estimate to bring us current from January of 2024 up to now before we go at 2.25 a month going in the future. That's just commenting on this. And we'll just leave it here. And
At some point in time, I would like to visit with them. And I know there's been some discussion about this, but for instance, when we prepare the next budget to submit to the city and also to make plans for 2025, we need to have all of the areas of fixed expenditures and so forth. And we need to have line items for everything so that we can say it costs X number of dollars to keep the place open, keep it running. This is the bare minimum what monies we're going to have. Then when we get a light bill for $20, that $20 is subtracted from our budget, and then we have a new total to work with. And if we can relate all of our expenditures to different line items, then we can, we can say, well, it costs $75,000 to service the cemetery in a year. And if we don't have the monies, if we get a little behind in sales and so forth, we'll be able to make adjustments to where we don't run out of money and we don't do something in a project that we don't have money on hand to do.
And LB, every penny we spend is going to be line item, just like
Yeah.
that. It's going to flow.
So it'd
So
be great
any
if we
point in
could
time.
do that.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for staying on that topic. Yeah. All righty, let's move into the new business. Breda's not here, but I think, LB, you've got some information on the employee workshop in Huntsville.
There's a workshop October 5th at the Huntsville someplace, the cemetery. And this guy is renowned for restoration of cemeteries, headstones, flat stones, borders, corners, and it's from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I believe, on October 5th. And all we need to do is just call them and get signed up. Right now we have Nathan signed up. I want to get, I got the information this afternoon we want to maybe send Justin as well. And it would be open for a commissioner to go with, because for two reasons. I'd like to get that workshop in our cemetery, because this company, this guy that puts this workshop on, will come into a cemetery and tell you what the cost would be to correct a lot of things that are wrong. But also, and when they're in the cemetery doing the workshop, they repair things. So that would be an advantage to us. And then the other thing is they will have the equipment necessary to do this, to straighten headstones, to put flat headstones together again for sale. And so if we can find out what the packet of tools are that they're going to offer, how much it costs, we might consider doing that. Right now, in the past year, we've repaired over almost nearly 100 headstones. And, but we're doing them with glue. And they're not always, we've had to go back and repair several of them a second time because of the weather and so on and so forth. So this is something that, I mean, everywhere you look out there, there's an area that needs to be improved or put back like it should be. So, I mean, I'm in favor of, if it's okay with you guys, that we do send Nathan and Justin. And if would any of y'all like to go?
What day is it?
October 5th.
Let's see what day that is.
I'm interested to know if we spoke directly to these people that are hosting it, not hosting it, the people that are coming in,
Right.
to see if we can just get them here and plead our own case with them. I don't know what
they'll come
Huntsville
and look
has
at our
to offer.
cemetery, but to get a workshop, I imagine, has to be scheduled a year in advance.
Oh, a year in
need-
advance?
We need to try to get a workshop. I mean, I don't know how many of them they give, but for this area, probably Huntsville is the place for Northwest Arkansas, for
I see,
instance,
I see.
because they gave one over in Jonesboro, you know. So if we can get one this year, fine. But try to encourage them to come to our cemetery.
I think it'd be great to send Nathan and Justin. What day of the week?
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, that's not going to happen on my end.
How about you, Matt?
I may be able to. I just have to check my work schedule.
That'd be awesome.
Well, we can always submit names. If they don't show up, they don't show up. Lunch is supposed to be provided.
Yeah.
Need to bring gloves and knee pads.
Is there a registration fee per individual? Oh, that's great.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, okay. There are no, Justin, well, let me rephrase this. We would need to discuss transportation for those
Well, if we have a
individuals.
commissioner go, the three of them could go together
Yeah, but
possibly.
you know what
But
I'm
if-
saying? Yeah, if
But if
Matt
not, they'll
can't
take
make
the
it,
cemetery truck.
that's what, is it?
It's roadworthy. We're getting ready in October, I think, or
Okay.
well, sometime this month and get it serviced.
Yeah, okay, good.
But I think
So
it
that's
can make
not
it
an
to
issue.
Huntsville and back.
Yeah. Headlights work.
Yeah.
Blinkers.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm in favor of sending them whether or not, you can make it. I know I cannot.
Yeah, I think that
on
at the very
the
least, I
fifth
think they
Saturday.
should go, especially if it's at no charge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
any training you can get.
Yeah. LB, I would say go ahead and,
Well, I'll just
Ask
make it
her-
in the form of a request, okay?
A request
I'd like to make
for
a
them to
motion
go.
that the commission allow Nathan and Justin to attend the workshop for restoration of cemetery structures in Huntsville, October 5th. What it will be is it'll be one of their work days.
okay,
We'll take off one day.
fine, either way. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? All of us, 3-0, good. Okay. And loose ends, we already discussed commemorative
The only
coin.
loose end I can think of is are the employees going to receive their bonus anywhere soon?
Let me own that. As I understood, it had already been done, processed, and paid, and that we were waiting on the amount from the city for us to reimburse the city.
Okay.
So
We
they-
just need to make sure the city processes this for those guys.
well, it was
This has
processed.
been going on for 3 months.
No, that has been done. They have been paid. When I checked last month, they looked and verified it, and I'm just waiting.
The groundskeepers have received their bonus?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not sure about that.
I sat right there. It was, well, yeah, it was,
Well, I discussed it with Nathan, and he hadn't mentioned he'd received anything.
I'll follow up. All right, I own that. All right.
Okay. Okay. What time is it?
All right, good, it's 4:55. And no announcements, we discussed this
Meeting
coin.
summary.
So let's go back over our notes
Okay.
and make sure that we've got written down what we passed.
Okay. I have down here head groundskeeper section and superintendent.
Well, you guys aren't done yet.
No, hey, you. Hey, we're going to 5:58.
Where in the hell did that go? I have down here that the head groundskeeper section and superintendent report was summarized. I thought I wrote that down someplace.
Yeah.
By LB.
Yeah,
David
yeah,
provided
treasure,
monthly report.
yeah.
Is that good enough?
Yes,
Do we want specifics, or is that good?
no, it's plenty.
Okay.
It-
Special events, we, as a commission, do not have any, but we have voices
And I'll call Jeff.
brought up by Matt that will be occurring in October.
Yeah. You want to put down there, and David will contact Jeff in case there's loose ends.
And let me know if they need any help with it or anything.
Do what,
Just, and David will call Jeff Danos.
under loose ends?
Yeah.
David will call who?
Well, under special events, voices.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, just
All
right
right.
there. That just summed that last phrase.
David will call,
Only because that's
Who?
coming up soon,
Yeah.
probably.
Who you
before
calling?
the meeting or thereabout.
who are you calling?
Jeff Danos,
What's that last name?
Danos. Oh, excuse me, I could be saying it in the,
Okay. Unfinished business, website. David,
yeah, same for Facebook, website Facebook. You know, we're going to add the burial log.
website and Facebook.
Yeah, just,
David provided,
Yeah.
currently there's a
burial log and
new,
it just,
all burial spreadsheet that can be updated to the website.
Yeah.
The training dates have not been
that's
established
correct.
yet.
Just leave it at that.
Facebook, we need to add information from
Yeah.
the website to the Facebook.
That's right.
And the head groundskeeper
Well, that's fine.
has been adding info to the
Well,
Facebook.
that doesn't need to be noted, but yeah, that's fine.
Sign project.
Yeah. I've got, Matt has 2 new contacts. Ozark CNC Gypsy Graphics.
Right,
We're
I got that.
exploring new options.
That was Matt this past weekend. Additional info will be provided.
Yeah, that's all we need to say there.
Coin, no update, return coin materials. Keysock improvement,
Add the 2024 All-Stars to the kiosk. I just say that, and it was proposed and
Okay.
passed.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
recognition on point 6, we have new
Yeah.
thank you cards, and we're going to add the names of the
That's right.
donations to the
They're on here.
kiosk. Remembrance idea,
We had a motion to include it into the rules and regulations.
LB made the motion that
Yeah.
David's version of the remembrance opportunity should be added to the rules and regulations, and I guess kiosks, right? Matt seconded, motion carried.
Yeah. Cremation area. You made the motion to
Did I
include-
make that motion?
Yeah, items, the areas between.
Motion that
18,
block
19.
18 through 19 alley
Yeah,
is a new cremation row.
right.
Matt seconded. Motion carried. Mid-year budget, we discussed this,
Took it off.
and going to eliminate this
Yeah.
item from our agenda.
You made the motion, Matt seconded it, it passed 3.
Really? Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to read this one. Plant policy, we had a discussion, and
You
LB
made the
made the
motion.
motion that the plant
Yeah.
policy.
To be included as written and presented, including the request form. And it was seconded by Matt and approved unanimous.
To the rules and regs
Yes.
and consent form.
Invitation done.
Matt
That's
seconded,
gone.
okay.
Control.
Invitation,
Done, out. It's part of
we've
kiosk.
taken care of that.
Yeah.
Control ban, not an option.
Out, yeah.
Cemetery projects moved to next month.
Yeah,
Rhonda Laughlin burial resolved, so that item's
Done.
gone.
Yeah.
CPA,
QuickBooks Hire. It's just ongoing, we'll just leave it there.
okay, new business,
Motion was made to send Nathan and Justin.
did you make the motion, Matt, or what?
I think you
I
did.
think you did, LB.
Okay.
You
I
made them all.
seconded it.
You
LB
seconded it.
motion, Matt
Yeah,
second.
all
okay.
3-0.
All right.
Then loose ends, bonuses, I'm checking with Jerry.
David.
I own that one.
David to call
Yeah,
Jerry on bonuses. And call that dude,
I think we've done the summary.
Jeff Dance.
Have we concluded the meeting summary? I believe we have.
I think so.
Our next item, agenda setting for the October 14th, 2024 meeting. Items to be submitted by Wednesday, October the 9th, 2024. I will have out these meeting minutes to everybody in the next 10 days or so, and I'll have an agenda out for our approval to get it to Kim by Wednesday, October the 9th. Any questions on that?
Nope.
I'm asking for an adjournment of this meeting.
Well, just before we do that, remember always that if you have any concerns about the condition of the grounds at the cemetery or any suggestions for improvements, please communicate that.
Yeah.
Because that's our main objective, is providing as well-maintained cemetery as we can for the public. And if everyone's eyes are on it, then that makes it just that much better.
Do you want to invite the public to do the same thing? Just
Well,
lean into that and invite them.
And of course, this goes to the public as well. We have lots of folks that come out there and just look at the monuments and so forth. We have lots of folks that exercise their dogs. Anyone that has a suggestion or would for an improvement or a concern, please let us know, because we are receptive to all input that benefits the cemetery.
So we're looking forward to hearing from you, the public. Give us your ideas, your thoughts, and your opinions. Thank you, LB. And I'll take a request to motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep, second.
Second, all in favor? Aye, unanimous. This meeting is done.